Empyre is an event that has promised us great change. The celestial messiah Sequoia of the Cotati is prophesied to be the bringer of this great change. But what we have yet to discover is just what kind of change Quioa is destined to bring about. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Today we're going to ponder on just what kind of change or changes, be they good or bad, the Marvel Empyre event will evoke in some of our favorite current series as we count down the top 10 theories for how the Marvel Empyre event will change everything. There have been tons of revelations and alterations so far throughout the event, so it's time to ponder what we think will stick and what it all means in this video. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts on the event thus far. Before we get started, spoiler warning for Empyre issue number 4 and major spoilers ahead for Empyre number 3. Basically, if you're not caught up at least on the main series of Empyre right now, just be warned, there are spoilers ahead for the Empyre event. Alright, now let's get counting. Number 10. Ten of Swords connection. Ten of Swords, point number 10. See what I did there? This is one of those events that really feels like it has the potential to be very meaningful in terms of the changes that could spiral out from it. With the appearance of the Space Sword, which currently is in Black Panther's possession, on loan from Teddy, who alone can pass on and control the power of the blade, it had me wondering if we'll potentially see any other blades appearing that might be useful in Empyre and later used in the Ten of Swords event. In the newest run of X-Men in issue number 10, the Empyre event has begun to tie into the events there, with the Cotati preparing now for an even greater attack on the mutant island nation of Quioa, and Magneto suiting up to go to war, and it being teased that he'll be joined by the summoner of Araco, who we now know is slated to become one of the sword-bearing villains in the Ten of Swords event. Is it possible we could see what exactly causes the Ten of Swords event to come about during the Empyre tie-ins? Number 9. Fantastic Four adopt KALLA and JO-VEN. Recently in their adventures, young child warriors KALLA and JO-VEN were saved from their fate as gladiators in the battle dome of a space casino that the Fantastic Four happened to stumble upon in their travels. The two, however, had been raised their entire lives to hate one another, training since birth it seems to defeat the other in the ring, competing continuously night after night. They have never known anything else. When the Fantastic Four went to investigate a Kree Skull armada following their space casino adventure, they sent Valeria and Franklin Richards home with the children with the task of guarding them until they themselves returned. But this also makes me wonder what will happen to these two after the Empyre event comes to a close. The children both care about the other and respect one another, but it really only comes when it comes to the other's prowess in battle. They still very much see one another as the enemy, and I can't help but wonder if after the event is through, if it will fall to Sue, Reed, and the other members of FF to teach these two how to be a family by adopting them. Which could be kinda cute. If they're both safe at the time, of course. Number 8. WICCAN and HULKLING break up. This is basically one of the many issues that is explored in the story Lords of Empyre, Emperor HULKLING. HULKLING and WICCAN are one of the cutest and most badass power couples that we have right now in the Marvel Universe, and this issue caused HULKLING to have to re-examine his ties to Earth as he takes on this new role as supreme leader of both the Kree and Skrull people, becoming Emperor HULKLING or Emperor Dorek VIII or King Teddy or whatever you want to call him. I personally like King Teddy the best, in my opinion. In fact, in this issue, Teddy is forced, after confessing to Billy that he is Teddy's whole world, to renounce his ties to Earth and his fiancée, or husband, now more likely, apparently, freeing Billy from his bond to him and basically breaking off their marriage. Fortunately, this is later revealed to be a simple ruse created simply for show, as Billy reappears later, kissing Teddy and confirming that the two are still very much together and very much in love. However, we have also learned that a plot is afoot to mold Teddy into a less compassionate ruler, eliminating all the softness that comes from his Earthling heritage. So it is still possible that this break could end up happening for the couple in the future. But hopefully not, but it could happen. Yikes. Number 7. Carol Danvers stays an accuser. What if one of the changes we see to come out of this series is for Carol to become a permanent accuser? Her taking up the role and dealing with her own Kree-related problems such as her half-sister could mean we see even more integration of Carol Danvers into the Kree world as her heritage and ties to the Kree continue to be explored. But if Carol becomes Kal-El the Accuser, weirdly taking Ronan's place, who would end up taking up the mantle as Captain Marvel? Will we see Captain Marvel return? Probably not. Number 6. Emperor HULKLING becomes the villain. Originally this event was implied through advertisements to be a seemingly great battle between the Kree-Skrull Alliance and Earth, but as of yet it's turning out to be more about Earth joining up with the Alliance, or at least the heroes of Earth, to take on the common enemy that is now the Cotati, an alien plant race of beings who aim to eliminate all animal life on Earth and in the galaxy, but used to be allies with the Terrans. However, with it revealed that KNULL the Pursuer is actually Empress Raquel. I'm just gonna keep working on that pronunciation, though I do like the sound of Raquel, because, you know, she could kill people. I don't know. It seems very possible that HULKLING could somehow find himself manipulated or brainwashed by his Skrull grandmama into becoming a villain, a ruthless and heartless leader who then will perhaps end up turning on the Earth in the end, giving us the event we had more been expecting. In fact, we're maybe already seeing this happen, but if it's really HULKLING, we don't know. Number 5. Normal Franklin. Franklin Richards is often known for being one of the most powerful beings around. This is the kid whose brain had to be shut down by his dad when he was just a baby because he was too powerful. He also created a pocket universe, saving all the heroes who would have been completely destroyed by Onslaught when he was just a kid. But finally, Franklin has been given a weakness, something to help curb his insane power levels, making him a little less OP. Currently, Franklin Richards has found that using his powers in excess causes them to weaken, so he's trying to avoid using them regularly, saving them for a time when they are most needed. We might see a big enough threat, however, for Franklin to warrant really putting his powers to great use with the Cotati invasion. However, this will likely burn out Franklin and could even leave him depowered. For a time at least. Considering how powerful Franklin is used to being all the time, this could make for an interesting story and change if it were to happen. Number 4. Space Recession. It was alluded to in Empyre Fantastic Four issue number 0, but it seems like a great space recession could really be on its way to the reality of Earth 616. Apparently creating the Kree and Skrull Alliance and their war coming to a complete end has meant that the space credit currency has fully collapsed, leaving everyone to resort to the good old barter system for their needs. If we see further peace come to the galaxy following this event, which could very well happen, we could see the greatest space recession ever in Marvel history. Although if it comes at the cost of potential, likely not, but potential, eternal space peace, it sounds like it could very well be worth it, so Number 3. Emperor of Space, the Universe, and Everything. On the other side of things, or well, from a different vantage point I suppose, I could also see King Teddy taking over all of space as his grandmother is hoping he will, but this could be in a peaceful way, where perhaps the Alliance will become sort of a governing branch that aims to more protect all of space and its beings as opposed to controlling them. Kind of like a more militaristic cosmic United Nations, where the Alliance is the head organizer of a confederation of planets, creating an alliance and peace for all. And this could come out of the Alliance somehow creating peace with the Cotati. The other way it could go is that Emperor Doric VIII becomes the tyrant ruler that the Empress wants him to become, and the Earth must fight to break their bonds after the Alliance demands loyalty and fealty from the cosmos, ruling over it with an iron fist. Number 2. All roads lead to KNULL. With Web of Venom Empire's End marking the last issue in the reading order for this event, and teasing at the appearance of KNULL, more than teasing really, I'm starting to think that Empyre is where many smaller and perhaps even greater events will find their start. With so many different plots connected to it, Empyre might end up being the beginning of everything, or the beginning of the end of everything. In Incoming we learned that KNULL is very much on his way, sowing chaos and destruction throughout the galaxy while he goes. It's very possible, as this was teased during the ramp up to Empyre, that KNULL will once again become connected to Empyre's plot and could even be somehow the big boss waiting for us at the end of all of this. Perhaps all factions, Earth's Avengers, Fantastic Four and X-Men, the Alliance of Kree-Skrull, and the Cotati and Celestial Messiah will be forced to join together in order to defeat the more ferocious villain that is KNULL, the god of symbiotes, lord of the anti-light, the abyss made flesh, destroyer of stars, the King in Black. Number 1. Earth versus the Alliance. It's possible that what we will end up seeing is a full-on war between the Kree-Skrull Alliance and the heroes of Earth. Before, after, or during the battle with the Cotati. With the introduction of the weapon which puts the pyre in Empyre number 2, it's been suggested and even entertained that Earth may have to be obliterated in order to save other galaxies from having their animal life exterminated by the Cotati. If they manage to gain control of the vibranium mound in Wakanda, they will have the power to instantly control plant life throughout the cosmos. Winning Earth means they will not just win the war on our planet, but across multiple galaxies as well. But if the Alliance targets the Earth with the pyre, or rather Earth's sun, you can bet your bottom dollar our heroes will have something to say about that, which will undoubtedly lead to a battle between the Alliance and the people of Earth. And then also the Cotati will be in there. Be crazy. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. What have been some of your favorite tie-ins from the Empyre event so far? Have you been following along? What events would you like to see emerge from the world of Empyre? And who or what do you think is behind this somewhat evil version of HULKLING that we saw in issue 4 of Empyre? Let us know in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube.